Today's October 13, 2020, Tuesday, and I'll be talking about 2016. This is the time I was living in a Palm Motel in Kissimmee, Florida. My mom mentioned to me that when she passed by a certain hotel, and there's several businesses that were next to the hotel, she thought that she saw Nadine. This was during summer of 2016. During September of 2016 is pretty much the first week was a week where I got back the internet. But this was when the Palm Motel took off the router for nearly 2 months, and I couldn't get out my ideas out online because the AI saw that I was concentrating and I was able to consistently make the right response when I speak to people concerning about what's happening with humanity and how there is indeed a multi-agent quantum AI computers and high authority NSA software engineers managing humanity. And one of the reasons why the AI can make the employees in the Palm Hotel take off the internet is to save money because the majority of people who are living in a Palm Hotel aren't paying their rent. And the internet is a necessity for the Palm Motel as they can change the rules anytime. I'm referring to the AI computers and the software engineers through people. Change the rules of how the Palm Motel should be run. And when I got back to the internet, it's where I was able to sit down once again and concentrate on my ideas. So it was around mid mid September of 2016. It's where my mom and sister run into Nadine at Walmart. Right, the first time it didn't happen, but the second time it happened, where my mom and Nadine run into one another, and this was in Walmart. My mom is the one who told me that she ran into Nadine. She said that Nadine lives in John Young Parkway in Kissimmee, Florida, as if someone knew that one of the relatives lives close by us. And this is one of the time when my mom had invited Nadine to visit the Palm Motel, the room that we were staying in at that time. I'm saying to myself, what? So I questioned my mom about Nadine. My mom said that just Nadine is just coming here to just look at the Palm Motel. I'm like, oh, okay. My mom was very patient with me, wasn't impatient. She said that Nadine is gonna come by during the late afternoon, and she did, going or the evening. And Nadine came in, and she said she was talking to me very fine. She was, she looked concerned about me and my mom and my sister. and we were talking. She said I looked like one of the relatives. Everything was fine. But until February of 2017, it's where everything became more weird. But before 2017, during November of 2016, I had a dream about an apartment. But the apartment it looks like a studio. And I said to myself, why am I being shown an apartment in my dream that is not even Florida? It's New York City. This is how a New York City apartment looked like. It's showing me the hallway, a small hallway, showing me a stack of suitcases. I'm saying to myself, why are there a stack of suitcases? It's like placed like dominoes. They're stacked very neatly. And I'm saying to myself, what the heck? So I see myself in a dream passing Seatown. And Seatown is located in Jamaica, Queens, New York. This is 169th Street. So when I first came back to New York City, I mean, in March, late March 2018, I had created a video about the Seatown. I said that the AI wanted me back in New York City. Even used ciphers to tell me that it's going to put me back in New York City. It embedded them on a URL. One of a video. It's a video site that I go on and it generates words and numbers to make me watch a show or a movie. But I usually watch animation, Japanese animation, and it said go back to New York City, NYC. Go back to it had an abbreviation. Go back to New York City. It says go to NYC. And then as I walk past the Seatown in a dream, I heard my voice saying that my mom died. And ever since that dream happened during around mid November of 2016, every time my mom comes back from work, she was 57 years old. She keeps mentioning that she's going to die and she doesn't know who's going to take care of us. She never talked about death. 56 years old, 55 years old, 54 years old. I never heard my mom speak about herself dying. And the AI seemed to got me in the place where it wants me. Fresh, no, not fresh, Flushing, 11367. It got me an apartment where it wanted me. And it showed me the apartment from the dream in November 2016. And the apartment from 2016 is the apartment from November 16, 2019, the apartment that I'm actually living in as of today. And yeah, currently my mom is alive in right now, October 13, 2020, Tuesday. And she kept mentioning about I don't know who's gonna take care of you, your family don't want to take care of you, the big grown man, and she keeps saying big grown man, you know, you know, we're placed in a tourist section. What's interesting here is that when me and my mom was living at the shelter, and we had to go to some sort of interview for from the food for the food stamp people. She had exposed me to the lady about me not working. She said that I didn't do a stitch of work, and that I'm, to show people that I'm lazy, because I have actually applied for every job in Kissimmee, Florida, or every job that pays in Kissimmee, Florida, because it's a tourist section. Walmart, Target, different places besides that, and the other places don't pay, right? They don't pay weekly. Walmart and Target pays bi-weekly, but it's enough to pay for a hotel and be able to get tax. It's enough to also pretty much buy food. But my mom wasn't working at Walmart or Target. She was working at the Waffle House or and Popeyes, but they weren't getting too much customers because of the tourist section. There's not enough tourists in this area, and the people, or you could say the race group that lives here and that has the most employment is Hispanic people, because they're more comfortable with working with one another. So that's one of the reasons why I said that I was placed in the isolated location. And when I was living in Tampa, Florida, I put in for a lot of jobs, right? And not a single person called me. I even approached the manager and Burger King. Not a single. She didn't hire me. Ridiculous. I even put in for a job application in Tampa, Florida. But ever since November 2016, my mom, only thing she talks about is death. She said, "Oh, you better prepare every time, even up to this day. You better prepare the funeral for me. You will know when you see me dead. You better know. When you see me dead, you better realize." Uh, hmm. November is my death day. Is my death month. There's stuff like this. She said this last week to me when I told her that my Pell Grant is coming in November. She's expecting me to use my Pell Grant to pretty much pay for the apartment instead of actually paying for my school in case I flunk my course, because some of these professors are not capable of teaching the materials properly, especially my abnormal psychology professor. And I'm very concerned about my math too, because of my experience being in a math course from last year when I was in college. But to have your own mother speak this way over and over every single day, this is not normal. My mom is not showing me a normal behavior when she speaks that way. Okay, that's repetitive. Anyone who keeps focusing on dying, and then she mentioned, "Oh, I'm finished with this place. I'm finished. I can't wait to die. I can't wait to get out." And my mom, she has me. I'm 27 years old, and my sister, she's 17 years old, and she's speaking that way. And my sister is having a hard time even keeping up with school. It's like her mentality completely changed since she had her own room. Since she had her own free space, she feels that she doesn't have any interest in wanting to do the work. She used to be so interested in doing the work, but after November 2016, and also Nadine, my mom started speaking weird, and started everything started coming along in order. January 2017, I played a game online, and then this person mentioned about good job. He left a sarcastic message. After the internet, something I really play video games, but I just wanted to play a trial game called Nio. I have it uploaded on my YouTube, and one of the person left a message because I was lagging and I didn't know what to do in the game. It was too many things happening at that time, right? So I pretty much froze. and then the person mentioned good job. I actually ended up when ended up facing the boss alone, my character ended up losing the game. And when I looked at the message, it corresponded with February 2017, right? The good job message after Nadine came in the Palm Motel room during February 2017. But before she arrived in the room, my mom was behaving really weird. Or I prefer using the term unusual. Very unusual behavior. I questioned my mom, and she quickly became irritated once I even mentioned the word Nadine. And then she puts her two index fingers in her ears, and then she blocks me from even saying anything, as if she doesn't have any self control over her own actions. When she did that, because usually we would have a normal conversation, right? Me and my mom always have these intellectual conversation about people within our family, right? No matter who it is. But for her to behave this way, this is not normal behavior. She puts her two index fingers in her ears, and then she starts talking all these random words, but they're not random at all. It's these thoughts that are assigned to her by the AI computers, right? Because it sees that I'm onto something about my mom, overall health and her behavior, and the situation in Kissimmee, Florida. The dream, I mean, not beside the dream. The message that I received from the person on PSN about good job corresponded with February 2017 dream, right? Because my mom didn't even once listen to me what I had to say. I was just questioning about why Nadine needs to come here, why she needs to come inside here, right? I was just saying why she needs to come inside the Palm Motel, why she can't leave the items and the side of the door. My mom said that she's in a rush, she's busy, she can't have time to talk with us. That's what she said. So I'm wondering why is Nadine that during that day of February of 2017 coming inside? Why is she coming inside the Palm Hotel? Why she couldn't leave the items outside, right? So when I told Nadine about, or I could say when I told Nadine about the situation here, Nadine, or you can say the reason why I couldn't get a job, or the reason why I'm living like this, because it's not, they want the AI computers and the software engineers, the high authority software engineers, they want me to think, they want me to think that I should be ashamed of myself, that I don't have, you know, that I don't have any motive, or I have all negative thoughts about myself, that I want to keep being comfortable living in that situation, right? Not having any proper food, not any having my own place, no, my own rented apartment, my own rented house or a career. They want me to be ashamed of myself, right? And they want the people around me to perceive me as the way they had thought of me, but incorrectly, right? That I'm some sort of a hoodlum that wants to just stay up in a hotel and not do anything, knowing that the place is a tourist section. So when I thought about how my mom spoke to a lady in Jamaica Avenue when she was visiting, we had to go to the for an interview for the public assistance, and my mom blurted out to a lady that I sat in a Florida motel and haven't done anything for years. When I applied for a whole bunch of jobs, and I wanted to go to college. I was stuck. I never wanted to come to Kissimmee, Florida. I said to my mom that I don't want to come here in the first place in 2012. I wanted to go to Arizona to go to university, but but this I don't have the grades to actually go to any university because it's low. It's poor. They wouldn't accept me anyway. It didn't matter how many times I studied my materials when I'm in high school. It's meaningless. People already think that I'm slow in my brain or I'm incapable of taking care of myself. Right? This is how the AI wants people to think of me. They all have some sort of I might as well say mentality already programmed to think that this is the case. They don't want anything else. They don't want anything to say, anything from my. They don't want any response from me whatsoever. That's it. They want me to sit there and listen to them talk about me that way when it's incorrect. And I'm telling you, their 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 thought process would affect me. By means, they would spread this information to people so they can actually, put me in a deeper situation. So if there's any family members that I need to call for or need any social support, they would already think that I don't want to help myself, or I'm some sort of druggie or something. And I'm not. I'm a I'm a respectable person. I respect people. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I want to do something with myself. I always thought of doing something for myself since I was a kid. I always wanted to have my own place. I never I never thought that this would be happening to me. This is surreal. That's why I said to a person on YouTube. There was a person on YouTube that I talked to after, or to say I had some sort of communication with, even though people in person think that I'm scared of talking to people. That's how the AI does it. It likes to register fear. It wants me to be scared. That's the case. If you're not scared, it wants you to be scared. They'll just say it. Just like when I first went to my father place, I mean my father girlfriend place to live back in August 2011. She said, "Why are you acting?" She said to me, "Why am I acting scared for when I'm not scared?" She got it incorrect because the intention here is to make me scared, is to register fear, because this is how they pretty much want me to think about myself. They want to hide myself from how people think about me, and how hide people on how people hide people's mind about me, so they wouldn't be able to learn about my situation. They're very impatient. They don't even give me time to speak. So rude. No matter how many times I put in for jobs, no matter how many times I try talking, it's meaningless. It's like it never had any meaning to begin with. It's ridiculous. This is harassment. That everybody's behaving this way, and I'm stuck in a situation where I don't have any career, and I'm putting out for a whole bunch of jobs, and no one pretty much acknowledged my existence. It's like I never existed. It's like I only exist to pretty much be criticized by people, because I've been criticized by people all my life since I was a kid. I've endured this. To live through this since I was a kid is ridiculous. It is psychologically affecting me. I'm pretty much scared of even talking to people without having them criticize my communication skills. Learning that it's just a machine that is translating their thoughts so they wouldn't interpret my meaning because of the way I use my terms. The AI sees that the terms is accurate, so they had to dissect their thoughts so they wouldn't be able to interpret my meaning. The AI makes me probably there's times where the AI try to get me irritated so I can use the wrong, or say the incorrect term. It not only irritates me, it also makes me sleepy. I feel so drained, like I can't think for myself when I'm drained. And I remember telling Nadine during February 2020 that I had a dream where where I heard the person talking to me about there was going to be a post-apocalypse, because I keep writing online. They're saying that if I continue to keep writing online, there's going to be not only post-apocalypse, there's going to be consequences for writing online about my experience or my ideas. Right? They lecture me. I'm being lectured just like how I'm being lectured by people all the time. I've always had. I didn't realize the word. I wasn't really aware of the word lecture until I was like 20 or 21 years old. I started realizing the word lecture, like that the people, what the people are doing are lecturing me. I'm always being lectured by people, like they're talking to me like I don't know any better or don't know anything, like I'm not incapable of doing anything. You know, That's why one of the reasons why I feel depressed. They'll force you to think negatively about yourself, and you're not supposed to be thinking negatively about yourself because they're forcing you to have an unhealthy mind, right? They're the ones who have an unhealthy mind because right. What makes them have an unhealthy mind is that they don't realize that they're socially dependent, not independent. That they have to depend on a human being to give them a check, right? They have to depend on a human being. They have to depend on a human being to give them a job, and it's the people's actions is what gives them a job. Without the people thinking of them, they wouldn't have a job because there's people thinking about them. That's why they have a job. People do not think about me. They skip over me. I don't have a job because of the timing. The timing is done so methodically. I'm always in a situation where it's made to look like I don't want to have any, that I'm disinterested in working. And that's why I'm starting to say to myself when I was in Florida, in Kissimmee, Florida in 2017, that there must be some sort of criteria here, right? There must be a criteria when it comes to getting a job. I thought about the whole social barrier and language barrier when I was in 2017, but I didn't know the term. I just thought of the idea. I said that there's a selection process. That's my way of thinking of the idea of criteria and social barrier. And the selection process determines the right individual agent. So each human beings are individual agents, and there's a collective agents. There's a collective agents of human beings that actually are selected to work at a certain place, right? So if there was a person who's working at a business place and they need a certain people, it goes by their DNA, right? They know that there's a lady who has these sexual desires, and they say there was a their their mother or their father, they had some sort of, you know they had some sort of sexual behavior or desire. It goes by a DNA. It goes accordingly to how the AI wants them to be in that environment. They all have some sort of perceptual error. They don't have a they don't have any mind to know about themselves. The AI hides them from themselves to know what they actually do, and it puts them and then evaluates them in their own environment. So I tried articulating this over and over, and I learned that that is correct because I've had people online is executing my response to remove the context from my words. Yep, so it wouldn't exist. I learned that it is true. This is the case, and I've proven it. I've proven it by actually creating a new concept for it, and it did the same exact thing. Remove the context so it can actually be meaningless. But what it couldn't move is how I actually articulate how this place is digital. That's hard for it to execute. And I started realizing that yeah, I'm in big trouble. I'm being harassed as a human being because they don't want me to have no income. They don't want me to have no interaction. They don't want me to have no career. They want me to be stuck in the same situation over and over. It's reoccurring. This, this is a repeatment in my mind. They're 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 repeating this scenario over and over and over, so it can affect me psychologically. I'm doing the right things, and I'm being denied from having a job by people, just regular citizens who's been reprogrammed by the machine. Now I'm in college. I'm still, even though I'm in college, you think I'm not worried? I'm really worried. I don't know if I'm even gonna pass or anything. Only the AI would know that. It can simulate. It depends on my environment. I learned that my learning depends on how my environment is. And every single person that I talked to online had some sort of career. You know, One person mentioned, I mentioned to a person that the people online mentioned to me that to get disability because I told them the situation about what that I'm in, that I actually put in for jobs, and no matter what I do, it's ineffective. It's not working out here. It's like the timing is done so well, so I wouldn't be able to get no job. It's like there's other people ahead of me. The selection process determines the best choice of human beings better than me. So they can, the software engineers think I'm too sane. They don't think that I should be working. They think I should be kept in the situation because not only that I'm sane, they think that when I have my own place, I'm gonna sit down and concentrate on writing my ideas, right? And the people are so quick to tell me that my ideas are incoherent because they couldn't interpret the term. They never heard of the term or experienced what I've experienced. They never been in that situation before. That's why I had to actually build up the context so I can give them what I've experienced through words. And when I started matching them correctly, man, the AI just keeps messing with the internet in the Palm Motel. And since then, even though even though me and my mom and sister left that environment, the Florida environment, and came to a New York environment, she still talks about dying. Doesn't it still exists in her mind. It carries that idea out, and this AI truly wants to isolate the hell out of me, not giving me any. It wants to not even rather than even saying did. It wants me to keep being put in these situations where I feel humiliated, not have any advantages, only disadvantages, not translate the people's thought process to make me convince myself that my ideas is incorrect or my experience are incorrect because it sees that I don't have any social support. I don't have anyone to sit down and communicate with. Everybody's not sociable towards me. Every single person behaves the same exact way. They keep themselves away from me and they're not interactive. So I'm in a big situation here, right? Because this AI put me in an apartment where it showed the apartment that it showed me in November 2016 and it's hitting November almost. I had to actually keep track of this machine. This thing is extremely dangerous. This thing is a this thing is not rogue. It's but it still have a bit of a free will of doing things. Very dangerous. And these people, or you could say software engineers, are extremely dangerous themselves too. They could do anything, man. And I keep feeling like I repeat every time I do anything in this place, or you could say since I left Florida, everything I do feel like I repeated the day over. I feel like I repeated the day over and over, nonstop, and it doesn't everything I do when I write, when I sit down and study my material for my college, when I play video games just for one day, everything I do feel like it happened before, man. It's getting man, it's getting really annoying. Every day, nonstop. I keep feeling like it happened before. It won't go away. Oh man, and I trained my thought process when I was in Florida to handle situations like this. But this environment here is very unhealthy because there's more people. The AI takes advantage of the citizens in New York City because they have a behavior issue. They don't know they don't have no social common sense whatsoever to know what's happening around them. The AI can easily hide their mind from knowing knowing one another's intention behind their behavior. And to be put in an environment where there's more people, it's extremely harder for me to even think. Like, how is it going to design the next situation or design the next scenario for me to put me in the situation? because I know it likes to isolate me. It likes to put me in a situation where people are telling me that I'm a big grown man and I can handle myself and I can get a job because they're already employed. Another person will just say, "Oh, it's individualism." Then when you speak about the idea that they're socially dependent and how to, they can't kill their own food, they can't hunt for their own food and stuff, and that they depend on other people, they will say agriculture. Yeah, there's several blockage ways of executing it. I'm familiar about agriculture since I have a course about it last semester, and the kin and the reproduction of siblings, sister. Ah, and I haven't been thinking that much. I've been thinking about, on my own about my situation. I've been using the damn freaking public information for school. That's, it's really it's really unhealthy for my mind because it's fake. It doesn't exist. I had to learn about Erickson and the whole psychoanalytical. Uh, some of them I can't even keep track of. They're all over the place. It's like, it's like forcing information that is really unnecessary. I had to focus on assessments like clinical interview, intelligence tests, personality tests, projective tests, biological assessment, neuropsychological assessment. I had to even concentrate on the historical perspective. Oh man. So this is it for this video. I had to do my schoolwork, catch up once again. Oh, there will be a time where I create another video. Oh man. This is too much, man. This environment is this is one of the reasons why I don't want to live in New York City. This environment is annoying. It's so repetitive. That AI remapped my environment too many times. It got me to the place where it wanted me in, so I can feel completely helpless. So no one can socially support me. Okay, that's it for this video.